So let's talk real quickly and have a crash course in perimeter control, access, and security. Now, when we talk about these items, we're talking about the outer edge of your property up into the front porch of your house or back porch. And so we have to be mindful in this situation that you don't want to be just surprised by someone that just comes up to your door and just starts knocking, or someone trying to break into your back door without any notification. So there's things you can do to actually increase your ability to control your space, provide access or deny access, and enhance your security overall. Some of those things could be a driveway alarm. You could have them stationed in the very beginning of your driveway. So when even if someone's just pulling in just to turn around, you still would be, have the earliest amount of notice. So that, or you could even place it in the middle of your driveway or at the very end in different stages to see how far they come up your driveway. Depending on the length of your driveway, if your driveway is only a few car lengths long, this could be a little bit more difficult. You may just have it, in the middle or in the end of the driveway. Some of these things have detections of 40 or more feet, these driveway sensors. So, and it also depends on what kind of sensor you get. Some of them are that you have to drive over. Some of them are just heat-based. So a driveway alarm or sensor is one way to get early warning. You can also have motion sensors. A lot of them nowadays, they're based on heat, detection, not so much actual movement. So you have different kinds of those, and you can place them around the perimeter of your house. Some of those don't have much more of a range than 150 to 300 feet, depending on the brand and the quality, but at least it'll give you a little bit of detection and give you maybe a minute or so notice before someone comes right up on your home, especially if they're not coming up your driveway or coming from the sidewalk. Maybe they're coming from your backyard or they jumped your fence. And that's the next thing, fence. Fencing is going to be very important. Sometimes, though, they can be used against you, especially if it's completely a solid fence and it's not transparent, and someone could actually hide behind it, and basically they have the element of surprise. So always be aware, if you have solid fences that you can't see through, even though they're great for privacy, it may be a double-edged sword. So always approach your backyard, even if you're in the home going to the backyard. Just take a few seconds and just look out the window on each side to make sure there's no one hiding in the brush or right behind your fence. Another idea for fencing would be to maybe reinforce it with barbed wire on the top, if that's allowed in your area. Some places it's not. To lock it with a sturdy gate, and even have a driveway gate. And if you can have fencing around your property, it's even better than just a backyard. Of course, we're not going to be talking about all the things you can do to the home itself, like reinforced windows and doors, but the things up to the house is like shrubbery. There's a lot of different types of natural barriers, like restrictive vegetation that may have thorns, but they could be decorative in nature, like holly bushes. And these restrictive vegetations can be placed under windows and places you don't want people around, especially around your air conditioner and places like that people shouldn't be. The next item would be additional natural barriers, having a large body of water. Maybe there's a large pond or lake in the backyard. Maybe there's other types of rock, a rock wall, or a large ditch area. There's different things that can be unappealing to some people. And even if you have the back of maybe a garage up against, the property line and the fence going to that, then just the back of that wall or the side of a garage that there's no window could be a wall in and of itself. So even though that's not a natural barrier, it's a barrier that's kind of made by default because of the structure. Another item would be cameras. You can monitor your property a lot easier with cameras. Instead of going outside, you can see if there was a motion detection, detected in your area. Let's say in the far backyard. Instead of going out there and putting yourself in possible danger, you can just try, turn on the camera or turn on the screen if it's not already on, and get your joystick, and you can move it and toggle the cameras if they're the kinds that can move. If not, just try to find a camera that is actually facing that detection area for that particular motion alarm. And try to identify the threat and see if it's just an animal moving and it's a false alarm, or if it's a real threat, such as someone trying to do harm to you and family. And the last thing I would want to bring up in this brief primer overview about perimeter control, access, and security would be about having trustworthy neighbors. These are extra sets of eyes and ears. Sometimes you can't be home, and none of us are home 24/7. And so that, in conjunction with a good home alarm system, is going to be paramount to actually to give you the best results. And we all want to keep our family safe, especially us parents, that we don't want our kids, if they are left home alone, because we have to do that and they're old enough to be there, safely. We don't want unnecessary risk to our children just because we've done silly things or we didn't prepare our home to be as strong and as alert as it could be. So with those are just some tips. Hope you got something from that. And just remember, though, we're responsible for our own safety. No one else is. Thanks for watching.